I'm here at HSN, but I'm also shopping right along with you. A couple things that I'm gonna get from this show. One is our today's special, the NutriBullet Pro. I'm just trying to decide which color is gonna be left by the time I get a chance to order. And the other is this. This is from Kitchen HQ. This is the Kitchen HQ Elite Non-Stick 2-Quart Cast Iron Braiser Pan. And cast iron, because cast iron is that material that our moms and our grandmothers used and never really gave up, because there's something about cast iron cooking that the food just seems to take on flavors so much better. You can really count on and depend on the way cast iron cooks up for you. This is 2 quarts. It comes with the lid. I'm just gonna pop this on so you can see that. And it's a nice beefy lid, so it comes up a little bit higher. You've got a nice thick handle to hold on to. 2 handles on either side of this. It is cast iron, so it's got a little bit of weight to it, but don't be afraid, it's not so heavy that you won't be able to pick it up. We've got your choice of black. It also comes in teal, just to have a little fun. My grandma never had a teal pan, so go for your teal. And we also have it for you in red. We're gonna go ahead and see more, but first off, you'll notice that this is almost half price of what it normally is here at HSN. Normally it's almost $60. Today it's $32.95. We're going straight to Mark to see cast iron in action.
And not only is cast iron the source of so many rich, deep, beautiful meals, but braising. There's something loving and special about braising your food. And here's what I mean, okay? So the first thing I want to do, you guys, is go ahead and without any butters, fats, or oils, we're gonna start our braised chicken side skin down. Now, anybody that's ever braised before knows that generally you're doing this in a great big giant Dutch oven that's almost impossible to clean because it's enamel coated cast iron. So when it comes time to clean that, it's one of the most awful things. And you have to be like, the trained chef here, the trained cook, because you need to know that in exactly 6 minutes and 45 seconds, if I have it enameled, I can turn this. But with this, it really doesn't matter. It's not a thing. That skin would be sticking to the bottom of one of those pans as we speak. So here, watch this. We've got one of my favorites going. Braised beef short ribs.
Wow.
So here's what you do with these. The cast iron is beautiful for that sear, to really give it that browning on all the sides. And by the way, your beef ribs, your chicken, your stews have a flavor inside, and it's a secret. And the only way you unlock it is with braising. And here's what I mean by that, okay? So we've got our meat all browned up there. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slide in some garlic, just like that, actually, a little bit of garlic, and then we're gonna do some celery and some carrots and some onions. And what that's gonna do for us, Tamara, is that's gonna provide a base for that gravy that we're gonna make along the way. Okay. So here's a little bit of beef broth to go inside. And remember, all of these flavors combine, they're rich, they go deep, deep, deep down into the flavor of the meat. And this is something you cannot do with a normal pan. This is the type of pan that you want to use for braising, because you have these really nice high sidewalls, and you're not having to deal with a pan that's bigger than what you would ever, ever, ever need. And we all know what I'm talking about when I say that. So now all you're gonna do is you're gonna take this, you're gonna nestle everything back in. Braising is simple, it's easy, it's fast, it's fun to set up, and then all you do is pop it in the oven and absolutely forget about it. So like we said, watch this, that lid is gonna come with it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this and set it over here, and I have one finished that you have to see. You're gonna let this braise for about 3 hours, and then you're gonna strain that gravy, and what you're left with is one of these dishes and one of these dinners that is one of the ones that gets talked about for ages afterwards. So Tamara, let me go ahead and just kind of give you a hint and just a little sense of how we love to feed our family around here. We love to show love through food. Wow. And when it comes time to really say I love you, braised short ribs are about, watch this, here we go, the best way to do it. I mean, that is as good as it gets. That gravy has permeated down deep. It's really going to give you that unbelievable taste and flavor. So let's spoon just a little bit over that, just like that. And I'll tell you, I wish you could have a bite of this, because it is the real deal. Grandma would be proud.
Yeah, Mark, that looks so good. Let me ask real quick, I may have missed, how long did you have that in the oven?
That's going to braise for about 3 hours. And what's beautiful about the construction of these pans and the way they're married with the weight of the lids is I turn the chicken over here and look at the browning on that chicken. It's not sticking, nothing at all. So those beef short ribs, they nestled in the oven for about 3.5 hours. They were nice and happy all the way along. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my chicken and we're going to remove that for a second, and we're going to show you a different dish that you can do. Because again, it's the versatility when you work with our cast iron. And if you've got a couple of pieces from us over the years here that we've had, I got to tell you something, add this to it. So I'm going to go put some ginger in here. I can't even explain to you how good it smells in here. And then we're going to add a little bit of soy sauce and sugar because I want this to caramelize. And because we're giving this that extra time in the oven to kind of do its thing and get to know each other and kind of get acquainted flavor-wise, you've got these opportunities to create tastes and flavors that you can't do with any other method of cooking. Braising is just such a beautiful way to cook. And I'll say it again, what's lovely about this is the fact that you don't have to get one of these giant enamel-coated Dutch ovens to do these amazing dishes in. Instead, you've got the right size, that 2-quart size. It's going to be great for a family of anywhere from about 2 to 6 people. So let me just bring this on up here so you can have a peek. And let me show you how I love to serve this. All right, Tamara?
Okay.
I'm going to slide this in right like that. I got a little bit of pasta just to get us going. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my perfectly braised chicken with that skin that's crisped up so nice. And it's hard to take it out because the bone is just, I mean, it's just falling apart. So now what I want to do is give it a little bit of our seeds, just like that, and a drizzle of sesame oil. It's fast, it's simple. Everybody can do these recipes, and I'll tell you, people will talk about them and talk about them and talk about them because they are that good. Look at that. I mean, it just absolutely pulls apart. Guys, get this pan and try it. You're going to be over the moon with the way it performs for you.
Well, you know what? The food just, I mean, it just begs to be eaten. I mean, I'll tell you this, when you look at that, just seriously, when you look at that, doesn't that remind you of going into your mom's kitchen when you were little, or maybe going into your grandma's kitchen, and that's what you would see on the stovetop? My mom always, and to this day, she still has it, but she doesn't use it anymore. It's a cast iron fry pan with that long handle. And she used to use it all the time. But it was just so heavy and kind of unwieldy. What I like is that this doesn't have that long handle. It actually has 2 handles so that you can kind of manage it a lot better, actually. You can hold on to it a lot better. So I was just trying to get a weight of it. I feel like it's about 5 pounds, no more than that. Cast iron used to be so heavy, but I like that this one is still thick, it's still solid. You know, if it's tough for you to buy cookware because you feel like everything is kind of flimsy, you don't want it to be so heavy, but you don't want it to be flimsy. You learned how to cook when things had a feel to them. That's what this is. The fact that you can go any stovetop, the fact that you can take this straight to the oven, and then it's so beautiful that you can take it straight and serve from it if you want to. It can go right onto your tabletop. Just make sure, because you took it out of the oven, that you have a nice trivet or something to put it on, because it's so great that it holds heat in the way that cast iron was made to do. You're choosing whether you want it in teal, in black, or in red. You're getting the lid included. It's 2 quarts. It's gonna be great, as you saw how big those beef short ribs were. You saw how big the chicken was that Mark put in there. So you can cook a lot or a little. It's completely your call. But it's a customer pick because it's fantastic. It cooks up so well, and we'll talk about the cleanup on it too. But you're getting it for almost half price. It's normally almost $60 here at HSN. Today it's $32.95. We're gonna go back to Mark to see more, but first, Mark, cleanup. Do I have to do anything special when I clean it up?
This is our non-stick cast iron. Give it a wipe. If that's too much work, put it in the dishwasher.
Okay.
That's it. Read our reviews on hsn.com about our entire line of non-stick cast iron cookware. You never have to worry about the release point on this. It's all a release point. So guys, this is, of course, oven safe because it's cast iron. So you're gonna get that great heat conductivity, that even heating. So when it comes time for your special desserts, like, I don't know, how about a nice cherry cobbler here? Oh, so wow. I'm gonna go ahead and grab our ice cream, and have a look at this. I mean, you know what? I'm going to try and spin this around, and I've got just the most talented, gorgeous camera lady here, and I want you to see right down. Look at that side. You see down that side? Look what it's done.
Yeah.
It's separated and it's brown. That crust has come all the way up from the bottom and has given you just the most perfect cherry dessert. Now, I want you to see this. You talked about cleanup. Look at that. There's no cleanup.
There's no cleanup.
Nothing's sticking. There's no cleanup. You can see it tearing away from the bottom of that pan. So whether it's Sunday dinner at Grandma's, whether it's a dessert, whether it's a quick meal and you just want to do an egg in this, this is the quintessential pan in your kitchen. You're going to be able to do so much. In fact, you know, we talk about Sunday dinner at Grandma's, stews. Stews can be such a long time consuming process. I've got my meat all browned in here. It's got a nice kind of sear to it. So all I do now, Tamara, is just take it out really, really quickly. And then all of my ingredients, in the time that the meat takes to brown, I can throw all of my ingredients together. So here's what we got. I've got some, if you're a mushroom fan, this is for you. Shiitake mushrooms, some onions, garlic, and some baby Bella mushrooms. I love that. We're gonna give it a little bit of green, and then we're gonna give it a little bit of stock. And really, that's about it. That's all you really have to do. I'm gonna add the beef back in, and then I can add my lid and either do this on the stovetop or let me wander to the oven again and show you what a treat we've got in there, because really, when it comes time for eating, there's no better place to be than right here on show day. Because I mean, we make so much fun food, Mark, and this was such a good time.
Mark, I love when you wander to the oven because there's always a treat that comes out.
Watch this. This is that stew. We thickened it up just a tiny bit, but I'm telling you, if you are a fan of mushroom stews and onions and you know what else we got in there? Tarragon, sage, rosemary, thyme. It's all in there, and it all cooks nice and slow on that stovetop or in that oven. So when it comes time for you to enjoy this with your family, there's just such a good feeling that comes from knowing that you've taken a little bit of time and a little bit of love and the right equipment and, you know, really creating those memories and those experiences around dinner time. Whether it's that rich, hearty stew, whether it's that incredible crusted braised chicken thigh, or I gotta say it again here. Let me grab a fork. That's a nice thing to be about at home. If I forgot something, it's in the drawer. Look at this. I mean, are you kidding me with this? It just falls apart. So listen, I've been staring at this food all day, Tamara. I got to try this. I wish I could offer some to you. I miss you guys.
Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. You know what? That's the dance.
Good.
That's the dance. If you don't do the dance like that after, or if your family doesn't dance like that after they're eating, it's time for us to step it up. And you know what? I think this is one of the best times, if not the best time, to go ahead and pick up a dish like this, because so many of us are cooking more now than we ever have before. I was talking to my niece, Destiny. She said she has made 50 new recipes in the last 4 months, just because she has time, she loves to cook, and now she, you know, has the kind of the will to do it. If you want to go for the cast iron dish that we have for you, because the main ingredient in here is love, because it reminds you of the way your grandma used to cook. It reminds